was my plan to do this at 9 o'clock in the morning, but instead, 9 o'clock at night. So this evening I'm going to make some soup. Yes, some very, very tasty and exceedingly healthy soup. No seed oils, it'll have no potatoes, and it'll have no flour to thicken it up. Instead, I shall use some more natural methods to make a soup that is worthy of consumption. This soup will be meaty and cruciferous. Here's what we're going to have. Onions, garlic, ginger, Savoy cabbage, carrots, celeriac, celery, and lemon. Soup, turmeric, cumin, coriander, salt, pepper, and lard, and some apple cider vinegar. Also, of course, some mince, which will be cooked in the frying pan. All of these ingredients here will be cooked in the stainless steel pan and then blended whilst I cook the meat. Whilst I cook the meat. So I start off with a hearty dollop of lard, which is, again, a perfectly natural product that we should all be using rather than seed oils. Right, and then what we want to do is we'll get this actually on. Let's use that front one instead. No, let's use that back one because then you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Get that on there. Just make sure there's nothing in there that shouldn't be there. And the onions aren't going to be particularly carefully chopped up because there's no need, because it's going to be blended anyway. That's going to be the perfect start of simply frying off the onions and garlic before adding any water to it. Made that a bit too hot already. Celeriac. Not really a fan of it particularly. 2 small carrots I'm actually going to cook with the meat because the carrot is the one thing that's going into this that I don't want liquidized. What about the cabbage as well? Would that be best off not liquidized? I don't know. Celery. Roughly chopped up as well. There's no need to be trying to be clever with the knife here because the liquidizer job is going to do all that for me. Fling it in. Get it all in there. Have a piece of it whilst you do it. See, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. No messing around. No arty-farty stuff. Just flinging things into a pan and it will work out, just you see. Now we pop in the whole packet of mince into the frying pan so we can cook that separately. Yeah, that's right, because the soup is going to be blended. I don't want to blend the meat, do I? I mean, in effect, it's already been blended, hasn't it? It's gone from being bits of cow into bits of mince. I think it's had enough. My favourite thing in the kitchen these days is this. I like freshly splattered up pepper. Loads of peppercorns in there, and then just, yeah, release the flavour of the pepper. Plus there's something quite satisfying about smashing these little things up. I'm going to add that to the meat. Let's do the same thing again, but this time with some Himalayan salt. Himalayan pink salt. Yeah, about right? Yep. You like the sound of... Yes! Who likes that? I certainly do. Is going to go in with the vegetables. Going to repeat that same kind of thing with coriander seeds and cumin seeds now. Doing this with coriander seeds makes it look ever so slightly like, oh, never mind what it looks like. It smells so good, does fresh coriander. Freshly squeezed, freshly crushed, freshly beaten up coriander. There's a lovely citrusy smell. But I don't want to bunk it in there straight away because some of that flavour will disappear. So maybe I did that a bit too early. And we do the same thing with some cumin. Plenty of cumin, because cumin is supposed to be one of the main flavours of this particular soup. Gosh, it smells fantastic. I'm getting too confident with this kind of malarkey. Something's going to go catastrophically wrong at some point. I'm going to cook it and then not want to go anywhere near eating it. That's enough. Next, and very important, turmeric. Turmeric powder. That can go straight in the meat now. You don't have turmeric for its flavour so much, it's more of a colouring and just because of all the wonderful things that turmeric can do. Also turns the soup green. You think it'd be the vegetables doing that? No, it's this stuff. Method's important. I may find that this won't work out quite as well as what it does when I do it next time because I'll change not the ingredients but some of the actual method. So, like ginger and other things, you don't want to cook ginger for too long because its flavour just kind of disappears after a while. Methods, eh? I mean, I must admit, I do things differently now to what I did do a year ago, or 2 years, well, especially 2 years, but even maybe just a few months back. You just learn things as you go along. And one thing that I'm not going to do with this is any cheats. There's no stock, there's no soy sauce, there's no Worcestershire sauce, there's nothing other than what I'm putting into it. You see? Put the right things in and you don't really need to worry about it. More water, more cabbage. And already I've figured out that quite possibly I put the mince in just a little bit too early because that's cooked. And ideally you want to bung it in once that's finished. Yeah? And the carrots are too late. Let's put the cumin and coriander in there now. And let that fry in there ever so slightly. And then I'm going to add a bit of water to this. Oh yeah, there's the ginger as well. Just some nice big pieces of ginger, which if you don't like it, you can just simply pull out and fling somewhere else. Okay, good. And then we're going to add some apple cider vinegar. And then some water. And we can just, there's no in there. This particular soup isn't going to take hours and hours. In fact, I've only been doing it for an hour and I'm ready to blend that stuff there, the cabbage. Let's just try this then. It smells good. That's good enough all by itself. I'm tempted just to put a bit of this aside because that's really nice. And that's with ingredients missing as well. There's no pepper in there. There's no cumin. There's no coriander. There's no mince. This looks like it should taste of parsley and be consumed with jellied eels. But it's not. And now comes the point where I could completely ruin it. But this was the intention, not to ruin it, but to have it like this as a nice thick meaty green soup. It's not very green now, actually. Oh yes, it is. Isn't that strange? Add something to it that's less green and it becomes more green. Finally, some lemon zest. This bit might not be entirely necessary. And the truth is, without tasting it first before doing this, I don't know how much it's actually adding to it. But again, it's just about sticking with the plan. I've got a good taste for these kind of things. I've figured out how things work, what things don't work, etc. So finished. Let's try some. Something missing. Yeah, something's missing. Bit more salt and pepper, I think. Let's try it again. That did the trick. Oh, I can highly recommend that to myself again. That was lovely. And what usually happens with soup as well is that the more you eat, the more you taste. Because I would consider that to be relatively simple, but still got quite a few things in there that take a while before your palate picks up on them and goes, oh yeah, I like that bit.